So now in the following we want to continue this one. So the sum of the array can also be defined this way, just the same as the others. So we want to write age, but here instead of other methods we want to write reduce. So reduce is written here, and then the name of the function. So we're going to add different items, all of the items of the age array together. So we can write its addition as the name of the function, and then we can add them together. So function addition, and here we have different attributes. So one of them is total, so the total of the sum of the array, and total and the value of the array. And here, just the same as the others, we're going to have return total plus value. So each of the values are going to be added to the total so that we can have the sum of the array elements together, and then we can console.log the result. Console.log, and the result is sum of array. So here, instead of an array, we will have a variable. So let's save the code and refresh the page. As you can see, 234 is the result, and it's a number, not an array. There are also times that we want to see if each of the elements pass a certain test. So for example, we want to know that all of these ages, which are numbers, are all positive. So if there is any negative number, it's not going to be considered as an age number. So here we create a kind of a test function for testing whether it's positive, and that's the kind of method that we use. That method is called so let me write it. That method is called array every, and here let me write const, and here we're going to create a new variable, and I'm going to call it test. The test equals age dot, and here age dot can have different, as you can see, we can have different methods. We have reduce write, and by the way, reduce write starts from the end of the array instead of the beginning of the array. And here for adding these all of these values together, it doesn't really matter whether you start from right or left, but for some cases it would matter. So here age dot every, and here instead of the every we can write the name of the function. So we want to test, so I'm going to call this test function, and here instead of outside of this parentheses I can write the function itself, function test function, and curly brackets, and inside of the curly brackets we're going to have the test. So return the values that are greater than 0. Also we'll need to have parentheses and the attributes of the array itself. So again, value, index, and array. There are triple R's here. Okay, and there we go. So we also need to console.log the result. So console.log and test. So let's save the code and refresh the page. As you can see, all of them are true, all of them are greater than 0. And so as a result, the result is a boolean and it's true. So test here is a boolean as you can see, a Boolean type. So because every is a checker, so it checks whether every one of them are, for example, greater than 18 or greater than 0, or have a certain rule that is going to be tested for them. So here, if instead of 0 I write 18 and save the code and refresh the page, you'll see that the result is false. As you can see, it's false because not all of the elements are greater than 18. Some of them are smaller than 18. So let me just get back to 0, because here the purpose of testing is to see whether the ages are valid numbers. There are also times when we want to check whether only even one of them passed the test, it will show true. So it doesn't matter if all of them or one of them pass the test, it will show true, and it will only show false at the times that none of them pass the test. So it's somehow like or of different one of them, not and. But here every works like and. So here let me create another test 2, and here we want to check if we have only one or all of the elements of the array are greater than 18. So here I can write sum, and I can write age.sum, and then the name of the function test2 func, and then I can write the function itself, function and test2 func, and here I can write the attributes. So the first one was value, just the same as always, index, and the array. Then we have brackets and return if the value is greater than 18. So let us console.log this one as well. Console.log, and here the test2 is the variable. So let's save the code and here refresh the page. As you can see, this one is true because we have some ages that are greater than 18. So some of the people inside of this list have the ages that are greater than 18. So at least we have one person who has the age greater than 18. So let us check 80 instead of 18. Save the code and refresh the page. And because we have one person who is 82, then we will have this true. So it doesn't matter how many people, and it doesn't matter if all of them. It is only enough that only one of them is true, so the result will be true. Anyway, so there are also times that we want to know the index of the ones that are greater than 18. So it doesn't matter what is the age. What matters here is the index. So for example, the first index is not greater than 18, so we just skip this one. But this one is 21 and is greater than 18. So what matters here is not the value, is not the age, it's the index of that value, which is 1. So the index of this, or position of this 21 is 1. And also this one has the position number 3, so the index is 3. And by the way, it starts from 0, just as always. So here we use index of. So we want to create a new variable, and I'm going to call this index. And here I can write age dot index of and then we can have the name of the function, find index or index finder. So let's also define the function and index finder. Then we have the same attributes, value, index, and array. And then we have curly brackets, and then return the values that are greater than 18. So let's console log this one. We want to know which indexes have values greater than 18. Console.log actually. So, and the variable was index. Save the code and refresh the page. So it says -1, and it looks somehow odd to me why it's returning that. So values that are greater than 18, and your variable that we use is age, and we want to find the index that are greater than 18. So let me check this one. So here actually we don't use a function. We use index of and age, the index of. So here we want to find the index of, for example, 21. So there is an age that is index, and so we want to find 21, and then we find it somewhere around here, which is 1. So let me save this. So for this one, we don't need any kind of function. It's just much easier than what you think. So let me check another time. Const index, age of index of 21. Console.log index. So let's save the code one more time, refresh the page, and oddly enough it's showing again -1. So here to fix this, actually here, because we don't have strings, we have numbers, I've written the number itself, not the string, so it shouldn't have the quotation marks. So if I save this and refresh the page, as you can see we have 1 instead of -1. And the reason we had -1 because we didn't have any item that was a string and was 21. It was number, not a string. And for the one that I just wrote there, we want to find the indexes that are greater than the 18. So we want to find the ones that are greater than 18, and we want to find the indexes. So instead of index of, we use find index. So here is just useful for when we want to know if a certain value is greater than 18, and if that is true, then we want to find the index of it. But there are times that we want it to pass a test, and we only want to know the indexes. So for then we use find index. So in order to do that, so let me create const, and here it's better to, okay, so let me create the test3, or I can write const indexes because it is a string, because it is actually an array. So here I can write age.find index of, find index, and then I can write the name of the function. So for example, find, or index finder, index finder. Then you can write the function itself, function index finder, and then the same attributes, the value, index, and array, then curly brackets, return, and then we want to return the values that are greater than 18. So actually here we want to have value greater than 18, and then if that is greater than 18, we want to see the indexes. So let us console.log indexes. Let us save the code and refresh the page. So index 1 is the first index that has a value greater than 18. So this one actually shows, find index shows the first index, not all of them. There are also times that we want to check whether the array contains, for example, the age 30. So we're looking for a special item inside of the array, or somehow we're searching for a certain item inside of the array. So const and certain item is the name. And here we can write age dot, and here let's find it, includes, and then the name of the function. We can write search. So let us create the function called search, and here we can, same as always, we can write value, index, and array. Then brackets, and then return if the value equals to 30. And by the way, here we don't need any function. We can simply test the age that includes, and then the item, we can write it here. So instead of writing the whole function and searching for that, we can write the item that we want. And by the way, it shouldn't be a string because it's a number. Save the code and refresh the page. So we also need to console.log certain item. Okay, save it and try again. As you can see, it's true because it contains the age 30. So that's it for the different methods inside of the arrays. They're very useful methods, and there are different methods, as you can see. For example, here, if I write the name of the array and then write dot, you can use a lot of other useful, as you can see, there are a lot of useful methods here, and using all of some of them can help you do different stuff. So for example, we have a splice, we have a slice, and there are different, actually, yes, right here we have a splice, and we've talked about them already. Reverse, pop, push, map, and so you should get help from all of these methods in order to do your own operation.